Welcome to another episode of, Welcome to another episode of Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ is Lord. And let's get right into it. Last week I took a extensive break, which had nothing to do with the election results. Okay. The election results had nothing to do with the hiatus that I took. The reason why I took a hiatus is because I was fatigued, wasn't sleeping well, and I'm dealing with some personal things that I am still dealing with. And so I just needed to take a little bit of a hiatus from bringing y'all content. So I was going to bring y'all some content yesterday, but I was not ready. Mainly in part because when I woke up yesterday, my body was still feeling heavy. So there was still a heavy feeling that my body felt. So I wasn't ready. But when I woke up, my body wasn't heavy. I was feeling good. And so here I am. It is the perfect time for me to bring you some content in spite of everything that I am dealing with. Okay. So I want to discuss the Portland Trail Blazers. Okay. So few things. So sometimes things happen in sports. There's a moment that happens in sports that sends a team upward or sends a team downward. Okay. What if Frank Selvey had hit the baseline jumper to win the game for the Los Angeles Lakers in Game 7 of the 1962 NBA Finals? What if Frank Selvey hit that shot? Then maybe it would be the Lakers who were winning a million titles in a row instead of the Celtics winning a million titles in a row. So the fact that Frank Selvey didn't hit that shot sent the Celtics upward, and it sent the Lakers upward. But in the NBA Finals, it always went downward, okay? Because they lost every time at the NBA Finals. So, what if they say Dwight Clark's catch in the 81 NFC Championship game sent the 49ers upward and the Cowboys downward, okay? What about the Music City Miracle that led to the Buffalo Bills missing the playoffs for about the next 15 seasons? Okay. So the Tuck Rule game where that sent the Patriots upward and that sent the Raiders downward. So, which brings me back to the Portland Trail Blazers. Game 7 of the 2000 Western Conference Finals when they were up 75-60. Okay. And with a little over 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. So I think it was at the end of the third quarter. The Blazers were leading by 17, if I'm not mistaken. 17 or 18. And Brian Shaw banked in a three. Okay, yeah. Okay, I remember now. Okay. Portland led 71-55 as the third quarter was coming to an end, and Brian Shaw banked in a three to make it 71-58. But the Blazers still led like 75-60 with a lot of time left in the fourth quarter. And the Lakers came back. Portland couldn't hit a shot. Lakers go on to three straight championships. Portland goes downward. Okay. And you talk to Portland players, coaches, management, trainers, video guys, they will all tell you that the Trailblazers as an organization have never really recovered from that collapse in Game 7. Okay? They've never really recovered. And I think it was pretty evident when Bob Whitsitt, who was the GM, who was a dumb GM at best, because he did start the Jailblazers era. He did start the Jailblazers era when he acquired J.R. Ryder from the Timberwolves. He started the Jailblazers era when he brought in guys like J.R. Ryder, discipline issues, could never be on time, was always getting suspended, was always getting in trouble off the court, was getting benched multiple times during games, got suspended multiple times by the Trailblazers. Yeah. So, Bob Whitsitt started the whole Trailblazers thing in the late 90s. Then along comes Rasheed Wallace, who picks up technicals like it's candy. He did lead the league in technicals with 41 technicals in 2001. He got thrown out multiple times. Then got busted for misdemeanor marijuana possession during the 2003 season, along with Damon Stoudemire. And Wallace allegedly said, "Ain't no need to search the car because we smoked all the weed." That's what Rasheed Wallace allegedly said. Okay, and so after the 2000 collapse, Bob Whitsitt basically blew up the team. Okay, he brought in guys like Shawn Kemp. Who else did he bring in? I can't remember. Yeah, but he did bring in Shawn Kemp for the 2001 season. But Kemp, his own self, had issues. Drinking problem, drug addiction, couldn't maintain a healthy weight, couldn't stay in shape. He was late, suspended a few times. So Shawn Kemp was somebody that you did not want to bring in. Okay. And it was kind of proven because he left the team during the 2001 season to enter drug rehab program. Okay. So he left the team, which means he was left off the playoff roster. And then they signed Greg Anthony. Not Greg Anthony, but Rod Strickland. So you had about 4 people who could play the point guard position. You had Pippen, Stoudemire, Anthony, and now you had Strickland. So you had a crowded backcourt at the one spot. Then there was the incident where Rasheed Wallace threw a towel at Arvydas Sabonis because he was upset that while Sabonis flopped while he was guarding Shaq, Rasheed Wallace got hit in the eye or in the nose, somewhere in the face. And Rasheed was upset about that. And he threw a towel in Arvydas Sabonis' face. And there was a fight that almost ensued in the Blazers locker room after the game. And then there was the Chris Mills, Bonzi Wells incident during the 2003 Heat season, where after Rasheed Wallace hit the game-winning shot against the Golden State Warriors in Golden State, Rasheed, Bonzi Wells, and Chris Mills got into it. But Chris Mills wanted to extend it beyond the basketball court, because after the game, it was Chris Mills, Eric Dampier, and Gilbert Arenas trying to get into the Blazers locker room. Then a Blazers staff member spotted Mills standing outside the Blazer locker room, and they say he had on a trench coat. So as the Blazers boarded the team bus to leave, Mills and a few of his friends blocked the Blazers team bus from leaving. Somehow the bus managed to get hit through. And as the Blazers were going to the airport, Chris Mills and his friends were in hot pursuit. Chris Mills was actually gonna either beat up Bonzi Wells or he was gonna kill Bonzi Wells. Okay. He was gonna do one or two things. Mills and his friends. Okay. So a Blazer staffer called the airport and said, "We're coming in hot. So have the gate. So open the gate and just be ready." So the Blazers bus came in, went through the gate. Gate closes. Mills and his friends don't get to the Blazers team bus because the gate is closed. But Mills was fined, I believe, $10K, and was suspended for 3 games. Okay. So Chris Mills went full gangster mode. Okay. He wanted to fight Bonzi Wells long after the game was over. Yeah. Nonetheless, technical fouls, suspensions, off the court incidents. This is the team that Bob Whitsitt built. Okay. This is the team that Bob Whitsitt built. Now, I'll give him credit for acquiring Scottie Pippen. Okay. I'll give him credit for that. But, yeah. And Scottie Pippen never forgave Bob Whitsitt for breaking up that team that went to the Western Conference Finals and was about 10 minutes away from getting to the NBA Finals. Scottie Pippen never forgave Bob Whitsitt for that. And Phil Jackson had an interesting line about that game, okay? He was asked after the game, how would you compare this 15-point comeback to the Bulls' 15-point comeback in 1992? And Phil Jackson said, yeah, it's similar. It's a similar thing. Only thing about it is I actually believed in my Bulls team in 1992 that they would come back. So that's saying a lot. When Phil Jackson said he believed that his 92 Bulls team would come back and win him the game. Phil Jackson had confidence. The fact that he said that is an indictment about what he thought about the Lakers going into the fourth quarter of that game. Phil Jackson did not believe that this team could come back against the Trailblazers in the 2000 Western Conference Finals. And even Shaquille O'Neal said it. Shaquille O'Neal said Phil Jackson walked into the huddle and said, "All right, guys, we've had a great season. I just don't think we are ready for this team." And he walked out of the huddle. Players looked around each other and said, "You know what he's saying, right? He's counting us out." Yeah, so even Phil Jackson counted his own squad out because he didn't believe that the Lakers could come back. But they did. So that may be an indictment of what he thought about that Lakers team in that fourth quarter. So, all right, that's it. And that's all for Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am out of here. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Amen.